I was walking back to the couch in my backyard and I had a spritzer and my notebook and the sun was shining and I had my dog. I have the best job ever. And it was this simple moment that felt so truly me. When was the last moment you remember feeling that way? Were you with a patient? Were you with staff? Were you learning something? What were you doing that you last thought, "Oh, man, I have the best job ever. This is the greatest thing that I get to do. I get to do this, and we call this work." What was the thing? What were you doing? You see, dreams and desires, that's what leads you. This very concept of masculine leads or the man should lead, that's completely dismissing this idea, this feminine energy of desire, of our dreams, that actually leads. Do you see where this is a problem in healthcare? We don't care what it's going to feel like. We don't care what the dream or the desire is. We just care about the bottom line. Just get her done. It doesn't matter if it's rushed. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're one of a Cataline. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're one of a number. It doesn't matter who you actually are, what you actually love. It's just this range of numbers. It's this normative where it's actually dreams and desires and how you want to feel that leads. My keystone presentation speech workshop starts with talking about your dream practice. We talk about what does it look like, and we talk about what are the countertops like, and what is it what are your relationships like with your staff, and what are your relationships with your patients. But the biggest question, and the one to focus on the most is what does it feel like? How do you want to feel with your patients in conversation, in relationship with your patients? How do you want to feel in conversation and in relationship with your staff? How do you want to feel in your physical body? How do you want to feel sitting at your desk? How do you want to feel walking in the doors in the morning? How do you want to feel driving to work? How do you want to feel walking to work, walking down the stairs? Whatever your thing is, feeling sense leads. And then it's the structures and the systems and the providing and the protecting that give that the space to come into being. I'm looking at some notes because I'm re-recording the Lux program. It is part of the core collection. So the core collection is building your foundation in relationships so that they are empowered and authentic, so that you know how influential you are in your own life. You can release all the codependencies, release all the toxicity from your relationships. But also that comes first, because then this relationship that's happening within you is what you're going to create in the world. Okay. That's what you're going to create in your experience. Then you can learn these energetics and start to pay more attention to what's happening behind the scenes. And you're also brilliant that you can then take what's going on behind the scenes and extrapolate out the details. And then you create your dream practice. Okay. And then in that, you've owned who you are, you've owned your dreams, you've provided for and protected a space for your desires and your full expression and your values and what you think is important and what you want it to feel like. That's pre-leadership, but the middle one of those is Lux, and that's this energetics piece. I wanted to talk really briefly about it here because it is such a big piece, and I think it's one that I sometimes skim over. It's one that I maybe hint toward, but it's not one that I spend a ton of time with because it is there. Okay, so when you do the core collection, this is a big part of what we're doing, and we spend time really going through this and drawing this out and applying this. And I spent some time in that program. And then you have an individual session where I can help you see this showing up. Okay. And we can help you with any stories, any beliefs, any conditioning that is kind of get you stuck on this, because this is one that we have been taught and you have learned and you have absorbed a lot of information that from the human realm that is not what's actually happening in the energetic realm. And once you understand the energetics, then you can create in the human realm. So, yes, my name is Miranda Nelson. I mm, am a spiritual teacher, but also a healthcare consultant. And I help you spin these things and I help you do the pre-leadership work so that you can be the leader that you want to be, so that it can be fun and fulfilling, that you can develop and lead the practice of your dreams. And that takes embracing your dreams. And so as you embrace your dreams, as you commit to your dreams, as you say yes, no matter what, as you get really clear on them, then you take the action naturally that creates that. So we can talk about the top 10 list and we can write our leadership book. But if you don't have these core beliefs, these core understandings correct, then that just becomes another to-do list. That becomes like a really another heavy, stressful, rigid, top-down, like sticky, heavy. It's not this fun and fulfilling and deeply comfortable type of leadership that you desire, that you know is possible, that you just haven't seen done before. Desire leads. Desire leads. Then there's commitment. Then there's providing for it. Then there's protection. Then there's calling in resources. Then there's receiving all of that. Then there's actually creating it and bringing it into being and putting it together and bringing life to it. Okay, masculine, feminine. Here we go. Um, this is yin yang. This is provider, protector, receiver energy. This is, call it what you will. The words that I was taught when I was learning this were masculine and feminine energy. I'm going to use those words. Now, we each have masculine and feminine energy within us, whether you choose to show up as male or female. Okay. Whether your body parts would lead other people to think that you are male or female, or more male men tend to have more masculine energy, but that's not always the case. Okay. Those things got intertwined some time ago, but go ahead and release that. In your experience, we each have both of these energies. It's a way of naming. It's a way of bringing awareness to. It's a way of seeing the interdependencies and the interweavings of these relationships. That's masculine and feminine energy coming together. It was described to me as I was originally learning it as the masculine energy is the banks of a river. Okay, that whole the structure that supports it, and the feminine energy is the water that's flowing through. Oh, in Lux, I speak a lot about this vision that I had, and it was I had taught for many, many years this idea of monster trainer, of letting yourself out of your cage. Uncaged. There's a song that I love called Uncaged. But there's this concept that we're confined, that we can't actually be who we want to be, that we make ourselves small to make ourselves comfortable. And it is this opening of the cage, letting who you actually are out into the light. And I say this, and then you're like, yeah, but I can't be this part of this person. Okay. But I'm going to tell you that as you get more comfortable with who you are, as you learn that you have your back, as you learn how influential you are in your own life, as you have built that new foundation, you realize that those characteristics of you are actually your strength and support. When you cage them to try to be someone that you think that you're supposed to be, that you think that is comfortable for other people, that you think that is pleasing, that you think that they want to interact with. We put that characteristic in the cage, and it only then comes out like distorted and confined. An animal in a cage, it's going to lash out. But when you let that out of the cage, when you let that energy out of the cage, that becomes strengths and supports and boundaries for you. So this is Monster Trainer. There's so much that goes with that. I used to teach exclusively this Monster Trainer program, but it's an authenticity program. It's a confidence building program. This is part of your pre-leadership, is really coming to own all of who you are and having all of those resources available for you. When we are in those insecurities, systems and structures then seem like a cage. That administrator says that I can't be so forward. That superior says that I can't be such a bitch. I have to be here on call. I have to work these hours. I have this restriction by my title or by my license. We perceive these things as constricting when you're looking up from under it. And above that is this glass ceiling. It's the what's known. Okay. This is what's in your textbooks. This is what's been experienced. This is energetically like a grid. So again, this is perceived as the glass ceiling. This is your C-suites. This is your imposter syndrome. This is you down here looking up at what's been done and all of the things that there is to do and all of the wisdom that's out there. This is more like a 3D grid. This is like murky and hazy and doesn't really have much shape to it energetically. This is shadow. When we hear about shadow work, this is kind of similar shadow. This is light energy. Okay. This is like white light energy. And above this is where the magic happens. This is where the new is created. You see, what happens is as this cage strengthens out, as we do our soul work, our inner work, we look at these fears and we look at these insecurities and we start learning what's out there to learn. And then this structure becomes actually a support for us. This then becomes where all things are possible. I was taught this as the void, as where it's only energy. This is space. This is the void in meditation. Some of you may have heard of this, a place to go in meditation where all things are possible. This is where the new is created. Okay? So you need to go beyond what's been done, what's been seen, what's already been learned, what's already been written. This is where the magic happens, you see? So, but we have to leave what's been done. We have to be willing to go into the new. This is what you are meant to create. So there are these systems and structures that have been done. There's coding, there's insurances, there's the money systems, there's internet systems, there's the way that the body works, there's physiology, right? All of these things have actually been created. There's all these systems that we know about, and they get to support you in bringing your dream into being. That's one background. That's like such a quick overview of that. Here's the other. So feminine has the desire. I want it to feel like this. Okay. I want to get to do my work. I want to feel confident. I want to feel compassionate. I want to feel like I'm actually making a difference. I want to feel like whatever your desire is. Then you're going to masculine energy then provides an inspiration. This is where you being in contact with your inner knowing, you trusting you developing this relationship within you. Right? Drops in an inspiration. Go to the Starbucks, ask this question. Feminine energy receives it, masculine energy takes the action. Okay. Do you see how there's this weaving and there's this playing and there's this back and forth? Okay. And how you value both sides of that. How you see that providing and that protecting, how you see that taking a stand, how you see that individuation, how you see that going into that, yes, I'm willing to do the new thing. Yes, I'm willing to receive this new idea. I'm willing to stand behind and commit to knowing that I provide for and protect. I have committed to no matter what. I call in my resources. These are people, these are cash, these are your staff members. This is views in your algorithms. This is the place to put it, the time to post it, the magazine to put an ad in, the interview to do, the networking event to go to that seems to not make sense. You go for the last 20 minutes and then you meet this person and then it doesn't seem like anything, but you want to feel like you're meeting interesting people. And it's an interesting person. So, okay, cool. Well, come to find out they're connected with that's perfect for your desire and your dreams and your how you want it to feel leads. So getting clear on that, allowing yourself to say, yes, this matters to me. Yes, this is important to me. Yes, I desire that. And I desire this. And I desire it to feel this way is how this begins. So daydreaming, paying attention during your day to those moments where, oh, I love my job. Yes, I want it to feel more this way. Man, that matters. No, I know some of you feel stuck and you feel confined and you don't even want to think about it because thinking about that makes you realize how much you don't have it. I get that. But sometimes realizing how much we don't have it helps us see what it is that we actually do desire. Helps us filter away, yeah, not that, yeah, not that, yeah, not that. It helps us be courageous to say, yes, I will develop something new. Yes, I am willing to go into that unknown, into that land of all possibility that's not been seen before, to bring something new into being. If you are here, if you have called me into your experience, you are meant to create something new. You are here on purpose. I welcome you.